What's up, everybody? My name's Chance, and today we're going to be diving into a Golgari Planeswalkers deck, which allows you to play the lovely Liliana, the Vivacious Vivien, and the gruesome Garruk, all three of which are very powerful in their own manner. And, if you get the emblem off of Garruk or the emblem of Liliana, it's pretty easy to end up winning the game. And obviously, Vivien's -2 is a great way to get your big ol' Elder Gargaroth and your Polukranos down in one fell swoop. Now, obviously, you're looking at the top end and you're saying, Chance, that top end is a little redonkulous. It's so powerful. It's so heavy. How do you get there? And actually, it's pretty easy if I'm being honest. So down here in the bottom end, in 2 mana drop, we have 3 copies of Tangled Florahedron. Really going to help you ramp up into the Vivien, into the Polukranos, into the blah blah blah, your top end, right? Same thing with Llanowar Visionary, a card that I think we should probably see this more often, and come the next set we might, since it is an elf. Anyway, 3 mana for this 2/2. Whenever it enters the battlefield, draw a card. Tap it, add green mana. Pretty simple. It's a common, which means everybody can enjoy this card. Now, outside of our 2 ramping cards, we have a lot of what I would call control. We also have Demonic Embrace, but that's this can be equipped to your wolves, to your Tangled Florahedron. This is just such a great card. You have to discard your own cards with Liliana, and so you can also discard it using Liliana's ability, right? And then you don't really have a drawback towards your opponent does, and it's just value gained. Anyways, outside of Demonic Embrace, we just have a whole lot of control. So we have Bloodchief's Thirst, we have Agonizing Remorse, we have Heartless Act, we have we have Scavenging Ooze to hit the graveyard cards, we have Inscription of Ruin to hit their hand, as well as destroy creatures and bring back, well, it'd really just be like a Tangled Florahedron, right? We're not too worried about returning creatures with this card. It's mostly about destruction and discard. Murderous Rider, and then of course Agadeem just helps us bring things back. We only have 1 copy of Agadeem's because it's not really meant to be an Agadeem's deck, but if you can bring back a Gargaroth, Polukranos, yada yada yada, you're gonna do that. So 1 copy is pretty good in the deck. 2 copies of Hagra Mauling, more removal. It's a land. It's all gravy. Liliana, as I mentioned, being able to make your opponent discard cards, fantastic, given you have things such as the Demonic Embrace, such as the Polukranos, and of course you have Agadeem, so you can be discarding creatures and then bring them all back. The -X is obviously some decent removal, and then the emblem is just a great way to win the game. Polukranos, escape card, you love to see it. It's great against the rogues, it's great against the girl aggro decks because it gets so big, it can fight stuff, it's its own removal. What's not to love about it? I don't know. Elder Gargaroth, another lovable card, 5 mana, 6/6, Vigilance, Reach, Trample. Whenever it attacks or blocks, you get to choose one of these 3 options. Create a 3/3 green beast creature token, really good. Gain 3 life. This one is probably the one you'll be doing the least, but it is good in that emergency situation, and or draw a card, right, if you're blocking or attacking. So all 3 very, very good, and all 3 attached to a 6/6 body with Vigilance, Reach, Trample just become so pleasant. We have Vivien, which again, if you use the +1 ability, you're generally up against rogues. You're making those 3/3s that have the reach counter, and you're just playing defensive with them. No need to get all aggro and yada yada yada. Now, flip that situation around. You're up against a control deck, and they just aren't finding the right thing. So then make sure you put this creature down, and you put a trample, you put a vigilance. That way it can get through your opponent's creatures, the walls or whatever they may have, and continue to attack or continue to block. Finally, the -2 ability, obviously if you cast down a Gargaroth, you're going to be able to gain a Polukranos alongside that. It's just so good. Whenever you cast a creature, whenever you cast your next creature this turn, sorry, I'm trying to explain this in layman's terms and I'm making it more complicated. Anyways, whenever you cast your next creature this turn, you get to pull out a creature that has a lesser converted mana cost than it. So, Elder Gargaroth, you can pull anything outside of your deck. Polukranos, you can pull anything lesser than it. Murderous Rider, anything left, and so on and so forth. So, pretty good ability, and again, if you're already in the top end of your deck, it's a fantastic way to just get a lot of value down for essentially free. Anyways, Garruk, Cursed Huntsman, 6 mana. This is the top end of your deck, and it's still only 6 mana, so it's fantastic. You can create 2/2/2s each turn, and whenever they die, they fuel your Garruk to be able to destroy more creatures, draw more cards, or eventually get that emblem where your creatures get +3/+3 and have trample, which is You know, obviously really good on a Polukranos, right? 12-12 that comes back, and then it's actually a 15-15 and it has trample. Yeah, sign me up for that, right? So Golgari Golgari Walker's very good. It's very versatile. It's able to deal with rogues. It's able to deal with the other Gruul aggro decks. It's able to deal with the mono red decks. It's got a little bit of something for everybody, right? Anyways, thanks everybody for watching. Hope you've enjoyed this deck tech breakdown. If so, please be sure to leave a like down below, comment in the comment section. Of course, subscribe if you're new here and you want to see more content. Hit that bell icon. And, you know, we're almost to 10,000 subscribers. We got a lot of cool milestones along the way, around the corner, however you want to say that. We have new videos that go live every single day at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, so be sure you're hopping out for those live premieres. And then, of course, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, we have budget videos that go live at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And then Saturday night, 10 p.m., we have our members-only videos. I swear that's it for the self-promotion and all that kind of stuff. Let's dive into the magic. Rick Sweet. I like that name. That sounds like a famous person. Rick Sweet. All right, similar start. You know, we got the Tangled Florahedron, we got the mana to get there, so happy to see all that stuff. We got a Wilt in case the opponent thinks that they're gonna play some artifacts and or enchantments. I'm looking at you, Ominous Seas. I'm looking at you. Of course, we're not gonna worry about removing it right now because they don't have anywhere near the amount of counters that it needs. I think it's 8, right? Yeah, 8 foreshadow counters, and you get an 8/8. So we can hold off. You know, what better time to play a Polukranos than on turn 3? Now, the opponent may have counter magic, but the nice thing about this, Polukranos can be played back later. So it's not even like a huge detriment, right? And we'll just play another. Now, if they have another Jawari, we can pay for that. Essence Scatter is a little sad. A little sad to see that one. But thankfully, the Fabled Passages will be filling up our graveyard. We already know we can take out the Ominous Seas, so I'm not too worried about that. And so far, they've just had lands, counter spells, and Ominous Seas. So I'm a little confused by what we're actually playing against. It's definitely mono blue, that's for sure. They kept a hand that seemed just to have just a ton of land, so we can save this for instant speed. I mean, I guess we just get in with Tangled Flora, right? You can get them. We're gonna try and take out that Ominous Seas on their turn. Right here. They also have a Crawling Barrens. Okay. So y'all are gonna counter it. That's fine. I didn't want to destroy your Ominous Seas anyways. That was just a joke. Just a little jokerino. Look at all these lands we keep drawing. Can I hit some playables, please? All right. Well, Tangled. You know what to do. The nice thing is, even when they get their Kraken down, since it's a token and it has 0 CMC, Bloodchief still only costs 1 mana to take it out, so we're still sitting okay in that manner. Now, they didn't put down their Hypnotic Sprite, and it's a little worrisome. We're not going to swing in with Florahedron because, of course, they have the Crawling Barrens, which they've yet to use, but I guess you never really know. Oh, scrying one to the bottom. Who knows? Maybe Ominous Seas is their win con. You know, just protect the Ominous Seas, we'll be all right. It's at a 7, so if they can draw one more card, they have access. We're close to getting Polukranos. We need 6, so we need 7. Demonic Embrace. Ooh, that's really good for us. Yeah, let's try and jam this down on a creature. All right, that turns one of these silly little 1/1s into a 4/2 with flying that their Crawling Barrens can no longer defend against. Discontinuity. Well, I can't really do anything about that, right? They just sort of end my turn. Cool, cool. I wish I had that card, but we don't, so... D's what it is. But yeah, there you go. Just completely get rid of my demonic embrace. Midnight Clock. That's basically gonna create them a whole nother Kraken, so that's a little scary. But Polukranos, you know, it comes down as a 12/12. I feel like it can do a little rumbling, tumbling. Bum, ba-da-dum, bum, bum, bum. Now, they don't have enough mana to make a Crawling Barrens into a creature. Otherwise, I'd say we might want to swing in with the Tangled Florahedron to bait them into blocking with the Crawling Barrens so we can use Bloodchiefs on said Crawling Barrens. But we'll see. Rick Sweet does have a pretty sweet deck, I will say that. Agadeems. Well, we only have Polukranos in the sideboard. 2, 4, 5, 6. Anyway, I mean, we can get it back, so I almost want to use Agadeems to try to bring back... What's it called? What's the worst thing that happens? You know, they counter it. The worst thing that happens is they... Oh, I don't have to pay 6. I only have to pay 4. Oops. Yeah, worst thing that happens is they counter it, and in which case we get another card in the graveyard, and then we can escape them. So, you know, we'll just keep... Try again, as they say. Hey! We don't want to play that as a land. Can't use it, but also don't want to play it as a land, right? Okay, there's Big Boy Kraken. Wait, what happened to their Midnight Clock? Oh, it just gained a counter. Solemn, not a big deal. Not a big deal. They only have 2 cards left in hand. They only have 1 card left in hand. Now is our time to shine. They didn't even attack. Well, I'm gonna make you regret that one. Unless, of course, they have counter magic, in which case... life shall go on. No counter magic. What do you say? Alright, well. Get him, Palu. Gonna have us fight the 2/2. I guess we could have fought it. We could have fought both and then swung in. Is that what we want to do, or do we want to wait and save the counters on the Kraken for something else? We can do it at instant speed, can't we? If that's another target creature. Yeah. Alright, well, let's get down our ooze. Don't think we should have necessarily tapped all of our green mana for that. But whatever. Now, of course, we can exile their Solemn from the graveyard and build up our ooze. I don't want to exile my own Polukranos. You never know when that's going to be important. Nothing from the foe. Alrighty. Goodbye, Solemn. Let's go ahead and do this. Spend all this extra mana we got on their turn, right? Midnight Clock is getting close to proccing, but not quite there. A Murderous Rider. That's really good for us. That is really, really good for us. Okay, we're going to do what any smart man in this position would do. We're going to swing all in. Now, can they bring their Crawling Barrens forward? Sure. Sure, be my guest. Bring it forward. I'll snipe it. Woo. Are they gonna discontinuity my ass again? I end the turn. Malakir Rebirth. Isn't it a beauty? Isn't it a beauty? So we'll still get in for 6. Our Poly K should come back. And I don't have to worry about the risk of using Murderous Rider and then them using discontinuity, right? So it's all good. Look at that. 6/6, right on back. What's that? Take out the Crawling Barons? Well, sure. Sure. We actually let this happen. We don't even mind this. No, they don't have any creatures. All right. End our turn on that note. They're down to 12 life. Now, that midnight clock, like I said, is getting close, and obviously the Kraken is, yeah, is about half charged. So, but do we have the cards to get a Polukranos back? We do, and that's going to be a 12/12 Poly K, right? So if they have counter magic, now's when we're going to see it. That's for sure. Back to my turn. Resolve and a Heartless Act. All right, well, the first thing that we should do is go for the swing in. 6 damage. They have 12 life. You know. Midnight clock. Midnight clock. They're doing it. They're going for the Kraken. Kraken plus counter magic. That's not a bad idea, you know? All right, we'll resolve all these. Let them pass on through. There we go. They put Kraken down. Let's see if they have counter magic. You use the Heartless Act first, so if they do have counter magic, they counter the Heartless Act, not your Murderous Rider, okay? Important note for all the beginners out there. So bye-bye Kraken. Kind of like bye-bye Birdie, but a little bit different. Alright, next damage. Taking them down to 6. Now they do have a full fresh hand, so I still don't want to use my Murderous Rider, I don't think. Alright, we already have Threat of Lethal on board. Poly K can come back next turn, no biggie. There's a Crawling Barons, but if that's what they're relying on, you know, we got the Murderous Rider to take it out, so. I'm a little worried, I'm not gonna lie. They got a full fresh hand. Gain 2 more life, that's a pain in the ass. Solemn. Okay, doesn't solve their problems. Get it? Solve, like solve. Anyways. They still have 6/7 mana. I think we jam this here. Try to bait out their counter magic, because I think I'd rather hit counter magic here and then be able to hit the Polukranos than, or Kranos, whatever, right? Then hit counter magic on my turn. So Sublime Epiphany. We're gonna do some bounce stuff, create a token of the Solemn, and counter my Murderous. Alright. Bounce Ooze. Counter. They get another one. This is all very unfortunate for us. Oh, very, very unfortunate. Hey, Gargaroth. And I don't think they have mana to counter, right? Boom. The good old G-Roth. Now, of course, we gotta hope that they don't have an answer for this again, because, you know, one Sublime Epiphany is generally not all a deck is to be seen. Now, luckily, they don't get the discontinuity, they don't get the Midnight Clock back, right? Because all that stuff's been exiled, so it's gone for good, as they say, and it ain't coming back. All right, my turn. Let's hit him with the Remorse right off the bat, right? Ooh. That's so dirty. That's Ooh. Nice. They have all of that counter magic, and yet they still weren't able to counter the Gargaroth. You know why? You know why they weren't able to counter the Gargaroth? They're going to block 2 here that will give them enough for the Kraken. I think we still got to do it, though, right? Do we create the beast or we draw the card? Create the beast or draw the card? I say we draw the card. You're not helping me here, game. You're not helping my point. Alright, so they might take out the Gargaroth here with the Crawling Barrens. It could certainly get to that point. But we certainly couldn't not swing in either, right? Like, that's not an option. They're just going to keep creating stuff, so. If we trade a 1-for-1 on the Crawling Barrens, sure. If not, whatever. I was really hoping that card draw would be some removal. Instant speed would have been the con we needed. Heartless Act would have been okay. But on the bright side, oh no, because they still have the Crawling Barrens mana. We can't even cast a Polukranos. Can't even cast a Polukranos. All right, because I do this, they just tap Crawling Barrens. Yikes! We were in a terrible position. We're playing our hearts out, but this mono blue deck's a pain in the ass, actually. We don't have to worry about the Crawling Barrens this turn. We got the Tangled Florahedron that still work fine as blockers. See? Perfection. And if they swing in with the Crawling Barrens, that means they can't defend with it, so it's good as well. What I might should have done is, I don't know if I had the Ooze down, but if I did have the Ooze down when that Midnight Clock hit, I should have exiled some of their more tasteful spells, right? Alright, well, they negate my other spell, so we're still at this weird spot. Alrighty, let's swing in. They're gonna have that Kraken come next turn. Well, this turn, right? And that was a solemn token, so we don't get to exile it. Alright, Kraken. I got a bad feeling about this game, by the way. Crawling Barrens. We'll give ourselves maybe 1 or 2 more draws. But it's hard to go up against someone that had, what, 3 Essence Scatters, Llanowar Ruins, and a negate. Midnight Clock, we don't care too much about. We'll have to let the 8/8 go through. Okie dokie. Ooze is getting there, sorta. Kinda, sorta. I don't think it'll get there fast enough, though, you know? Okay, alright. We gotta call it GG. I'm not gonna keep, like, waiting for those Essence Scatters to disappear, essentially, because they're not going to. Titan Zera, and I think we'll keep this first hand. We have the Malakir and the Tangled Florahedron as pseudo lands if we need them. And, you know, if not, then, you know, we ain't gotta worry about it. We will try to play down the Tangled Florahedron here. Hopefully it'll land and stay. We are up against red, so, you know, a little bit of a worry there. But if it can stay and we can get down Llanowar, we could potentially be pretty ramped pretty fast here. Bone Crusher. Alright, well. It is what it is. I'm actually going to go ahead and bolt this down so I can get the Llanowar. Another land. Land from the Llanowar. So we're at 4, we'll be at 5 next turn, which means if we draw into a Gargaroth or Liliana or Vivian, we can play. Poly K, we can play as well. Could also make them discard 2 cards, but I'm going to wait on the Inscription of Ruin, I think. We're going to go for the Poly K. Polukranos. Get in for 2. Alrighty. Show me what you got, Titan. Oh, also, while it's on my mind, boop, and boop. There you go, you two people. I actually remembered pretty early on this one. Alrighty. So we could take out their giant with Inscription of Ruin. We could also have Polukranos fight it. We could also just use Bloodchief's Thirst. To use this, we got 1 mana left over. But we're still getting in for 8, so I think this is worth. We're going down to 15, but we're taking them down to 10. And yeah, we'll play the Malakir down as a land. If they do happen to take out Polukranos, we have enough. Alright, cool. Victory. This red engine. Yeah, I got a bad feeling that you're going to be a mono red player. A little mono red Andy. But I'll give you the benefit of the doubt because you got the Song of Creation lands. Castle Vantress off the Ripperoonie. Alright. You know, I don't know what that really signifies for us. But it's not red, so is it? Or is it? Get it? Is it? Anyways, okay, another little visionary. We're taking our time, making our way downtown. Ooh, something, and I'm homebound. Opponent's using the opt. Y'all know how I feel about opt. If you don't know, I don't like opt. It's not in my eyes, it's not a very good card. So we're going to go for the Llanowar Visionary. Hey, it hits no hiccups. There was not even a proc there. Now there's a proc here, which means it's probably... Okay, I was going to guess Bone Crusher, but if it's just a Fire Prophecy, I'm happy. Right? No 4/3 on the back end of that removal. Hey, sign me up. And we get an good old Elder Gargaroth for our troubles, for our worries. Our opponent seems to be very spell heavy into Izzet, so we could probably expect some Sprite Dragons along the way. It's Jeska. Well, you know, now I'm a little more worried because these Jeska people that play Nart sets, there's one thing that I noticed about all of them. You may have noticed it as well. They all run ECD. They all run that disgusting, nasty ECD. Ugh, we hate that card here. We hate that card. Shuts down our fun. By the way, we have 3 Murderous Riders, so can you say goodbye Narset? It's gonna happen. Whether I gotta get through 2 counter spells or, well, I mean, really, we can only get through 2. There's a motorcycle outside. We can only get through 2 counter spells before we're kaput. Now, if there is going to be an ECD, it's going to be here soon. They have 4 mana. Surely they don't. Okay. Yeah, you do that removal. This red engine. You keep on taking my stuff out. You so good. You so fucking good. Goodbye, Narset. Hey, look. 2 can have removal. You and me. Dose removals. They were close to that emblem, too. Oh! Didn't I call it? I said, this is the kind of deck that plays the ECD. And lo and behold, the ECD. All right, we're gonna jam this down for as much mana as we can actually tap out for, right? They just showed us their ECD. They basically pulled down the shower curtain and said, look, I'm Bear. Play your Gargaroth. Of course, they may have another ECD. It could have all been bait. Could have been a little baitarino. But it doesn't look like it. You know they're kicking themselves. They're like, oh, mother. So we have 6 mana. We can use Murderous or Hagra. I believe what we're going to do is swing in with the Gargaroth. We're going to create the beast. The beast that creates the beast. Actually, I'm always a little worried when I create beast and I'm up against a white player because, you know, board wipes are just so prevalent. So prevalent nowadays. Let's see if the Gargaroth can live. It lives. So if we spend 4 mana on that, nah. We might not even put anything down here. Or maybe we put down the Murderous. Alright, we put down this Murderous. This red engine, they don't know what to do. They've been giving me a hard time all game, but now that their back's against the wall and they gotta decide whether or not to take the Gargaroth in the face, they don't know what to do. Oh, how the tables have turned. They've turned and turned and turned. Now, they can get an Narset back next turn, so I don't put it past them to be able to take out my Gargaroth, right? Come on, Red. You want to play, I want to play, we're doing good, you're having fun. This is the kind of Magic we live for, buddy. Come on, I don't want this to go back to my turn. I don't want to feel like I cheated. No, don't do it. Oh, don't do it. I believe in you. I believe in you. Maybe they're really salty about the whole Elder Gargaroth ECD thing. It's not my fault you played it down early. I called it, though. I'm like a psychic. Why would you play it there, though, right? Like, oh, I have nothing else to play. Might as well play this useless card, huh? Alrighty. Well, this has been a fun meditating session. If everybody would please close their eyes, clear their minds, I'll take you on a journey while we wait. Oh, there we go. Never mind. Journey's up. Shortest journey of your life. I'm not even going to put the Murderous Rider down. We just want to see if this red engine, if this big, beautiful red engine can come on back. It's like the little engine that could, right? I believe you can. You can come back. You can come back, and then you could make a comeback in the game. You never know. So, you know, just sit back down at your computer, hit that resolve button, bust out the Narset, and let's play some Magic. Huh? Huh? Didn't I make that sound so enticing? I don't think they're coming back though. Oh wait. No. I don't think they're coming back. I still want the victory though. Damn it, I worked this hard. Through blood, sweat, and Gargaroth's tears, we made it here, so I want my victory. And you know, one thing I'm always curious about, are they roping or are they disconnected? This is when you know, right here, final moments. Okay, they got disconnected. I feel sorry for them because we were having a good game there. Good back and forth Magic. That's all right.